The NBA Combine wrapped up last week, and on today's show, we have to do a mock draft following the NBA Combine. I am Nic Rohloff here of NBA Now at Chat Sports. This is going to be my third mock draft of the pre-draft process, just about 4 or 5 weeks away from the real thing getting underway on June 26th, and it's time for mock draft 3.0. But before we get into my selections, make sure you are following me over on Twitter at Nic_Rohloff because I am giving you more NBA draft content on a daily basis. We'll likely come out with NBA prospect reviews as well as we lead up to that big day in about 4 or 5 weeks. So follow me and help me get to 1,000 because the bosses say I get a raise when we get there. So help a man out. Let's start out with number 1, and that is Alex Sarr heading to the Atlanta Hawks. They won the lottery, and Sarr did everything he needed to do at the NBA Combine to, in my opinion, solidify the top selection. The Hawks will desperately need a center to pair up with Jalen Johnson, potentially DeAndre Hunter, and whatever guard they keep between Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Clint Capella's is not it anymore. Take the big man and Alex Sarr. Number 2, there's some buzz about Zaccharie Risacher here, but for this experiment, I'm going to go with Donovan Clingan, another center, this one coming from UConn. The 7'1" big man has an unbelievable reach equivalent to Rudy Gobert, and that's what a lot of people comp him to. Not the most athletic guy for his size, not the most offensively inclined player either, but he is an absolute shot rejector, and the Wizards, who desperately need a center after trading away Daniel Gafford, could pair up Clingan and Kyle Kuzma in that front court. I have 2 centers going 1-2 in this mock draft, Alex Sarr and Donovan Clingan. If that's the case, or just in general, who will be the better NBA center? Type AS for Alex Sarr or type DC for Donovan Clingan? All right, here is Zaccharie Risacher, who's getting a lot of buzz to the Wizards. Here coming in at number 3 to the Houston Rockets. If they end up keeping this pick, a high upside forward that has been kind of deemed the Kevin Durant from France. Not actually, but I will say he's very smooth off the dribble, and he is able to get to his release point very, very easy in the mid-range from 3, can finish on the baseline as well with thunderous slams. I'm a fan of Risacher. Would not shock me if he went number 2, but here he joins Jabari Smith, Dillon Brooks, and Amen Thompson in that young core for the Houston Rockets. The San Antonio Spurs take Nikola here in my mock draft, and I am just going to continue to mock this until I can't anymore because I think it's the best fit between team and prospect in this entire draft class. The Spurs desperately need a point guard, and Topic is the best pure point guard, in my opinion, in this class. 6'6", 6'7". The athleticism is a question, but he is the best passer. He can pass it with his left. He passes it with his right. He is going to be dangerous in the NBA. Matas Buzelis here coming in at number 5. Someone I'm high on, and I think the Pistons would be all over this selection with their 5th pick. You add him to a front court of Jalen Duren, Ausar Thompson, and also then you have Buzelis potentially as that 3-4-5 group in Detroit, and that is one of the most elite defensive front courts in the NBA. Buzelis will be able to defend right off the jump. It's all a matter if he can develop an offensive game. His handle is very, very sketchy, but he can defend with the best of them. Number 6 here, and we're going to go with Cody Williams heading over to the Charlotte Hornets. A little bit of a surprise here, if you ask me. I went with a little shocker because I think Cody fits really well with Charlotte. He has been comped to Jaden McDaniels, can shoot the 3 ball, can defend, 6'5", 6'6", size, younger brother of Jalen Williams, the wing from the Oklahoma City Thunder. You pair up Cody Williams with Brandon Miller, and now you potentially have 2 wings in Charlotte that can really be dangerous. Another wing here, Dalton Knecht out of Tennessee, going to the Portland Trailblazers. They already have a plethora of guards in Anfernee Simons, Scoot Henderson, and Shaedon Sharpe. They can use a connecting piece between their backcourt and their front court. Dalton Knecht is one of the best scorers and shooters in this class, shooting about 40% from 3 on 8 attempts for the Volunteers a season ago. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, prospect in this class, just because I think he's fun, one of the best volume scorers and shooters. He would be a great fit at 7 for the Portland Trailblazers. We got more mock draft to get into, but make sure you are subscribed to the channel because when the real draft rolls around in about 4 or 5 weeks, we will be live for both days. Yes, it's 2 days this year, 1 day for round 1, 1 day for round 2. So make sure you hit that sub button, and don't forget we will be live for the draft in about a month. All right, number 8 here to the San Antonio Spurs, their second selection. We're going to another guard, Stephon Castle from UConn. There's been rumors out there that he wants to play point guard in the NBA. That's what he did at high school before playing more of a 2-3 style at UConn. But he flashed he can do either. And Castle would be able to fit next to Topic. He'd be able to handle the ball when Topic sits down. So if you add both Castle and Topic to the Spurs roster, you just overhauled that backcourt. You also have Devin Vassell potentially playing the 3 with Wemby at the 5, and you really have a good youth movement and young core building in San Antonio. The Grizzlies got screwed in the lottery, falling from 6 to 9, but I think he is going to be a great pick, and that would be Reed Sheppard. I comp him to Derek White. He showcased a 42-inch vertical at the NBA Combine. Not an unathletic point guard, that's for sure. Can play the 1, can play the 2. He is a great defender, averaged over 2 steals a game last season for Kentucky. Shot above 50% from three-point land as well. Sheppard being that super sub off the bench for Ja Morant and Marcus Smart potentially would be very, very nice for the Grizzlies. At number 10, the Utah Jazz go with Rob Dillingham. Dillingham is very interesting to me because I think he could go in the top 4, top 5, but I also think he could fall all the way down to 10. But here, the Jazz could pair up Dillingham with Keontae George, especially if they move off Colin Sexton this offseason, and you have 2 scoring guards in Utah to pair up with Lauri Markkanen. The Bulls here at number 11 take a wing that could learn under DeMar DeRozan. I do think DeRozan re-signs with Chicago in this offseason, and Ron Holland, an uber-athletic wing who can really get to the rim and finish, but needs to develop a jump shot to be successful in the NBA. Finds a perfect landing home. You get to be mentored by DeMar DeRozan. Same play style, same type of athleticism. When DeRozan came out of USC into the league, Ron Holland to Chicago makes a lot of sense if you re-sign DeMar DeRozan. Another stunner, if you will, here, Kel'el Ware, the center from Indiana, who people have ranging between late lottery to the second round. When you're talking big boards and mock drafts, I have him going 12th here to the Thunder. It was evident that Oklahoma City needs to add more size alongside Chet Holmgren or behind Chet Holmgren because Jalen Williams, the center from Arkansas, not the wing, just is not enough. You get Ware here who can just absolutely be a shot eraser pairing up with Holmgren, but also can space the floor a little bit as well as Chet can. Seems like a seamless fit and transition from Ware to the NBA. The Kings go with Jared McCain, who could be the Malik Monk replacement. Monk is likely to get $20+ million in free agency this year, and I don't think the Kings will be able to retain him. So they draft McCain, who could be the best shooter in this class. I like Connect, but Jared McCain's got a quick release, smooth release, and he gets it out of his hands very smoothly. I like McCain, and he could be that 6th man coming off the bench to replace Malik Monk. Another Dookie here, Kyle Filipowski heading to the Portland Trail Blazers. They already took Dalton Connect in this draft, in this mock draft at least. Then you take Filipowski. The big man inconsistencies was so transparent for the Blazers a year ago with DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams being out of the lineup. You add Filipowski to that group, and now you are really starting to see a young, good core build up in Portland. The Miami Heat, after a disappointing season this year, if they keep this pick, it could be heading to Cleveland for Donovan Mitchell. Who knows? But Isaiah Collier would be a fantastic pick for Pat Riley and company. They need more athleticism. They need more scoring from their backcourt. Collier could be the long-term point guard of the future for Miami, the number 1 player in the high school class. Didn't have the best year for USC, but he showcases the ability to get to the rim with ease, finish, and playmake as well. Would be a great fit in the Heat developmental system. Halfway done with this Mock Draft 3.0, and it's a good time to tell you about the best daily fantasy sports app there is, and that is PrizePicks. And you could get a first deposit match up to $100 when you download the app and use code CLNS. You could win serious money with your ball knowledge, whether it be in the NBA, the MLB. If you go to the NHL, you can do that too. They got golf, MMA. They have the most stat projections you can ever think of, and they make playing daily fantasy so much fun, and it is so easy as well. All you do is pick more or less on 2 or more players' stat projections, and I'm looking towards tonight's Wednesday night game between the Mavericks, I don't know why I spaced there, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I am taking less than on Kyrie Irving, 21.5 points, less than on Derek Lively, 7.5 points. It's tough to score inside on Gobert and Cat, but I'll take the more than on Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic combined 56.5 points. It's a 3-player entry to win 5 times my money, but if you make certain selections that include demons, which is a higher stat total but a higher payout, higher risk, you could win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 entries. Yes, you heard that correctly. Easy and quick withdrawals as well. It's why I love playing PrizePicks. They got different deals and specials on a daily basis as well. So get started today. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. That link is in the description and comments of today's video. Or you could just download the app and input that code CLNS to get a first deposit match up to $100. All right, Tristan da Silva kicking off the back half of this mock draft to the Philadelphia 76ers at 16. They have like 3 players on their roster right now, and they'll definitely need to add some winning-type players alongside Maxey, Joel Embiid, and whoever they pick up in free agency. Da Silva, an experienced collegiate player who can shoot the 3 ball very efficiently and defend with good size at 6'8". Big fan of Da Silva and his fit in a winning team. The Lakers may have this pick. They may not have this pick. It's all up to the New Orleans Pelicans if they want to swap this year or go to 2025. But if the Lakers keep 17, Devin Carter would be a great pick. They just lacked winning basketball type of players, and Devin Carter is someone who could slide in next to LeBron, AD, and company and make a difference. 6'3", but with a 6'8", 6'9" wingspan. Also registered a 42-inch vertical, averaged 19 points and 8 rebounds in the Big East a year ago. Carter is a stud and would impact winning culture in Los Angeles right away. The Magic need more scoring and shooting from the perimeter. That was clear after watching their postseason loss to the Cavaliers because they need more help alongside Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. Walter here, a true freshman from Baylor who has a very nice-looking three-point shot. Not going to say he's going to come out and be a 16-point-per-game scorer within the first 2 seasons, but he can have an Aaron Nesmith-type rise, if you ask me, where he can shoot the 3-ball, he can defend, he can be athletic. Might not click right away, but Walter could be a long-term answer in that backcourt. The Toronto Raptors here take Keyshawn George, the forward from Miami, also a freshman. Slow jumper, but it was effective for the Hurricanes a year ago. He's also very lengthy. A team that is going to take a while to get back to contention in Toronto can take their time building up Keyshawn George next to R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes. The Cavs at 20, Zach Edey. Yes, Zach Edey from Purdue, and this is the first time I've mocked him in the first round. I just don't think he's a first-round talent, but I have started to get the sense that he will be going in the first round. And why not have him go to Cleveland? Jarrett Allen could be on the move this offseason alongside some other pieces, but either way, they didn't have a true backup center. I mean, when you are giving minutes to Tristan Thompson off the bench in the postseason, that is an issue in the year of 2024. So you take Zach Edey, you can either back up Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, or maybe he ends up being the starter if Jarrett Allen gets moved and they don't find a true center in a package back or in free agency. But Zach Edey is one of the most polarizing prospects in this class. Is he good? Is he not good? Is he going to go in the first round? Will he not go in the first round? That's the question that I'm asking you. Will Zach Edey go in the top 30 selections in this NBA draft? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Back-to-back centers here. Yves Missi out of Baylor heading to the Pelicans at 21. Valanciunas is likely to be on the move, and they would also probably benefit from a backup center even if they keep Valanciunas. Missi can be one of the better shot blockers in the NBA. Super athletic. Be intrigued to see his fit in New Orleans. Tajani Saloon heading over to the Phoenix Suns, the forward from France. He improved his stock lately, playing in the postseason in his overseas league, I should say. Showed up in the big moments. Good finisher around the rim, athletic. Also showcased a little bit of a shot. Saloon rising up draft boards, if you ask me. And the Suns probably likely to trade this pick, but if they keep it, you could add him off the bench for KD. Bucks take Carlton Carrington, another riser in this class, a guard from Pitt. No one had him on their radar coming into the collegiate season in terms of being a draft pick in general, but the freshman showed out in the ACC for Pittsburgh, and you could have him learn under Damian Lillard in Milwaukee. They don't have a point guard of the future. Patrick Beverley's future's up in the air. Carrington could be a nice addition for Milwaukee. The Knicks have back-to-back picks here, and we could show both at the same time here. Two forwards, Jalen Tyson at 25 and Tyler Smith at 24. I think they could use some more athleticism and depth at that bench spot, and we'll see if they keep these picks. They could try to trade him for Mikal Bridges or that type of star. Jalen Tyson's been comped to Caleb Martin sometimes. They could use that wing athleticism off the bench. Tyler Smith, super lengthy, but more of a developmental piece, but if you get him learning behind OG Anunoby, he's got freakishly long arms and great athleticism. Smith could be someone learning under Tom Thibodeau and make a difference. 26, the Washington Wizards have a second pick in this first round. Johnny Furphy, the freshman from Kansas, a very smooth stroke from beyond the arc. One of my favorite jump shots in this class. And not even like just efficiency, just like if you just watch him shoot the ball, it is very aesthetically pleasing. Furphy has a lot that he can add to his game. And for a team like Washington that has a lot of time to develop some young guys, Furphy could be one coming off the bench. How about Nikola Durasic, the forward from Serbia, former teammates with Nikola Jovic out of Mega Basket, going to the Timberwolves here. It's an intriguing fit because he doesn't have to play right away, and the Timberwolves have the luxury to put him down in the G League, let him develop. But people have said he's the Serbian Paul George. Yeah, you heard that correctly. He's athletic, he's got a smooth jumper, can really get to his spots in the mid-range and rise above his opponents. I'm a fan of Durasic and is one of my biggest sleepers in this draft. I don't know if he goes first round, but I think he's a first-round talent. Tyler Kolek, the guard from Marquette, heading to Denver here at 28. Reggie Jackson was good for them this year, but I think they could use a more long-term backup point guard to Jamal Murray in Denver. Kolek, one of the smartest players in this class, was Big East Player of the Year a year ago. Lefty, good shot, can defend, and has a good basketball IQ. He would flourish under Michael Malone and in that Denver system. One of the biggest risers from the NBA Combine, Baylor Shireman, the forward from Creighton. He lit it up at the week of the Combine, showcasing an elite three-point shot. Made 19 threes in the drills, also dominated in the scrimmages, played 2, had 17 in one game while shooting 50%, had 9 in the other game while shooting 50%. He showcased an offensive talent, and the Utah Jazz get a forward here that could come off the bench, play the 2, play the 3. He'll struggle defensively, but he's one of the most complete offensive players in this draft. Final pick of this mock draft is the Celtics at 30, taking Deron Holmes, the center from Dayton. They desperately need a big man. If you watched last night's game between them and the Pacers, Al Horford is at the end of his career, man. He cannot defend. They have Porzingis. Luke Kornet's a free agent. They can use a younger, more athletic backup center to Porzingis next year. Holmes, I think, fits that bill. Also has been developing a jumper in the A-10 for the Dayton Flyers. All right, that is 30 players, 30 picks, and I want you to drop a name for me. Who did I leave out of my NBA mock? There's some names out there that we can mention, but I want to know who you think I left off this mock draft. And like I said off the top, make sure you do follow me on Twitter at Nic_Rohloff. More draft content going over there, and when we hit 1,000 followers, I'm getting a raise. Come on, help a brother out. So go follow me at Twitter at Nic_Rohloff.